All right, longboarders, you know what this is. This is a Loaded Icarus, and whether you're here because you are looking to spice up your old deck, or you're looking to buy one and wondering if you should get it complete from Loaded or build your own. I bought a complete from Loaded a few years ago, but now I have none of the parts from the complete on my current setup. Now let's start with the trucks. We are looking at a caliber 3 in 50 degrees. Now, if you're looking for a way to determine if you have a 50 degree or a 44 degree caliber 3, the 44 degree one will have a spacer, a plastic piece underneath that bushing right here, and the 50 degree will not. And the difference between 44 and 50 is the 44 is going to be more stable, and the 50 is going to be more lively and turny. So this is the more agile, lively of the two. And compared to the Paris trucks, these are way more responsive. So what that means is that they are a little bit less stable. They're a little bit more twitchy when you're going down a hill. On the flip side, they do allow you to carve a lot harder, a lot tighter, and a lot faster than you could on the Paris trucks. Now let's talk about the wheels. We've got a 77 70 millimeter orangutan for President. Now, why are these wheels my wheels of choice on this board, considering the completes usually come with bigger wheels? Now, one is the caliber trucks. Although they are amazing, they do lean a lot more than the Paris trucks, and wheel bite is a problem. So I went smaller, no chance of wheel bite, at least in my experience, with a 70 millimeter wheel. Now, the other reason I went with these wheels is because these have a lot of grip. These are really grippy wheels, partially due to that square lip, the thane, the offset, and all of that together really gives you a dependable amount of grip when you're carving, because this board demands it. I tried this board with the durians, which have a rounded lip, and it kicked out on me kind of unpredictably, to be honest with you. So this is very dependable. And also the cool thing is that if you carve down big hills and you are pushing the board as you turn, you know, trying to scrub off a little speed, some would call it a power slide, these kick out so smooth and so predictable that I have no fear that they're going to slip out from underneath me. And that is something that I haven't found in a lot of wheels. So excellent wheel choice, good for grip, excellent trucks, good for liveliness. And let's quickly talk about why that deck is so responsive. Look at that profile. So you're seeing that deep concave, but then these flared edges, right? Your feet, when you're carving and standing on that edge, have a lot of leverage over the trucks because of that really nice raised edge on that deck. A board like the Loaded Vanguard, which is relatively flat, doesn't give you that much power over your trucks, but this one does. And the way they designed it is the board has a lot of pop coming from the middle. So not only do you have pop, but you have leverage and bite over that truck on the edge. Now I'm going to wrap this up with bushings and bearings. Now, I have used the Zealous bearings and the Loaded G-Who bearings exclusively in my boards because I do like built-ins where the spacer is built into the bearing. And I have found that the Zealous bearings are a lot quieter and the G-Whos get very loud, but both of them are pretty good. I think the Zealous are a little bit more durable, but the G-Whos are pretty good bearings. I can't complain about them. I think wheels make a bigger difference than bearings if your bearings work and they're not like full of dirt and corrosion. So that's not a big deal. And the bushings on these are stock. Caliber has, I think, Venom bushings, or pretty good bushings from the factory. And the shape of them is really good. Thick on the bottom, coned on the top to give you a good amount of dive into the carves, and I wouldn't change them. So to wrap up this video, first off, please hit that like and subscribe. Helps out the little guys, and I do have a lot of fun videos. I'd like to tell you about those real quick coming to the channel. One, will be bringing out the Loaded Vanguard 38-inch model, and comparing it to the Icarus, because I do think one board is better than the other unless you're very specific application of the board. So I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to talk about that board. This one will come out with a long-term review, considering my last video on it was years ago, and I've had a lot of time with the boards. So I'm going to give you that long-term review, and I have a bolsa. Maybe bring out the bolsa for some action, and go from there. Thank you guys for watching. Right on, and we'll see you next time.